Ripple XRP, we only have 2 days left and this should be somewhat big. That is for the ETF approvals that we will be talking about. And could we potentially see a $15 price point for XRP in the next 2 years? We're going to have a look at this prediction that the Crypto Basic has published on the Cathie and Mitchell calculator. I'm also going to be talking about how the BRICS organization will now be moving away from the US dollar. And of course, we will be looking at the price action for both XRP and XLM coin today. All I ask from you on two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So the first bit of news before we talk about the $15 price point for XRP is the fact that there is the cutoff point that the SEC set out, which is on the Friday. So we only roughly have 2 days now, and that is for when all of the ETF filings need to be in within the first wave. And if they are in, well, then the SEC will be able to have a look at them. But if they are not, it could be further delays. So let's take a look at what Cathie Wood has said about this.
I believe the SEC set a deadline for final updates to filings of this Friday. So I heard encouraged. Are you optimistic about, the shape your application is in and that it could get greenlit by January 10th?
Yes, we're very encouraged with our partner, 21 Shares. I think we've crossed every T, dotted every I. We believe to the SEC's satisfaction. I think the messaging around the 29th is, look, if you're not going to be ready to go on or around, let's say, January 10th, then do not submit anything more to us because we have too much to do here. And again, that also is encouraging because it feels like a bit of that the SEC is setting a deadline for itself. So that's great.
So I believe that there's roughly around about 14 spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, I don't think that we will see the approval of all of them happening, especially if they don't meet that deadline, but we could see roughly around about 5 to 8 ETFs being approved, and we only have an estimated 1 to 2 weeks before that happens. I think a lot of people will be anticipating that day after the 29th of December, and as we go towards into 2024, there is going to be a lot of expectations for people when it comes to crypto, and they want to start seeing the bull run. And so we have this article that we need to address, and it says that XRP, Cathie and Mitchell's calculator puts XRP at $15 on 40 billion volume. So the volume right now is roughly around about $1.6 billion, and that's how much it usually trades if we have a good day. But if we have a low day, we are usually under that $1 billion volume. Now, can XRP reach that $15 mark in the next 2 years? I don't think that it actually can. I think it is a bit too optimistic, and this is based on the calculator, and it says over here that it's in the next 2 years that they believe it can reach $15 based on certain criteria. So that is mainly to do with the volume. But if we take a look at the calculator and what it actually is showing, you'll see over here the total estimated daily transaction volume. They have put in 40 billion. The average time in days between transactions per 1 XRP, they've put 5. The store of value in dollar, they've put 0.8. Duration at which above volumes are estimated to be reached in years, so that's 2. Circulating supply of XRP, so that's about 58.8. And the interest rate to discount, which is at 5. And that is how they've been able to get the value of XRP at $15.43. Now, my first question is, when it comes to these calculators, if it takes into effect all of the factors and variables, especially if we are anticipating for that bull run, a lot of these altcoins are mainly going to be following Bitcoin's price and how that is going to increase in volume. But this $15 price mark is from the Crypto Basic, and that is what they have estimated. However, with the Cathie and Mitchell calculator, what they found is that it's estimated XRP's fair market value to range from a low of $6.37 to a high of $32.91, and the paper also estimated that Bitcoin's fair market value ranges from 45.4k to 93.6k. Well, for Bitcoin, we already know that it did reach $60,000, and Bitcoin right now is within that 40,000 region. And so for Bitcoin, it does seem more realistic that it could hit 60k. I'm not quite sure about 93k. I have heard of other predictions talking about the fact that Bitcoin could potentially reach 100k. But for XRP, I even think that $6.37 being on the low side is still a bit too optimistic in the next 2 years that we could potentially see XRP to hit. I think in the next 2 years we could see XRP hitting a high of probably $2, and that's on the optimistic side with favorable market conditions, and if we get the legal clarity as well with what's happening with the SEC and the lawsuit. I mean, do write down in the comments below your predictions of XRP and where you think it could potentially hit in the next 2 years. Do you think my prediction of $2 is a bit too low? Do you think that XRP can actually hit $5 or $10? I'd like to hear all your thoughts and opinions. But I always say one thing with predictions, to always be careful and cautious, because I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not a genie, and everyone else in the crypto space, no matter how much technical analysis that you do, or if you're an expert, you won't be able to predict the price of XRP. So again, take these predictions very lightly. Before we look at the price action for XRP and XLM, I just want to mention this. So we have the BRICS, which is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, and we have over here the headline: the UAE and China is to increase trade in local currencies. So this comes from the fact that they are trying to reduce their reliance on the US dollar when it comes to trade, of course, because of the political tensions that the USA has with Russia and China. And it says over here that the United Arab Emirates is reportedly seeking increased trade with China to become a global player. So this is big news, and that both nations are poised to expand their cooperation through bilateral investments and cooperation to grow their presence in the Pacific Islands and Africa. And what currency that they'll be using? Well, it says over here that the trade cooperation between both countries will likely be done in the Chinese yuan, and it will allow the Middle Eastern countries to grant China a gateway of influence into the region, and ultimately it should continue to shift the global power balance away from Western dominance. So as you know, when it comes to the trades of oil, and that's big money, that is usually traded in the US dollar, and if the United Arab Emirates goes with a local currency like the Chinese yuan, then it could potentially weaken the dollar because they are no longer trading in it. And also with the Chinese yuan, we could potentially see a CBDC coming out, and whichever company that gets chosen to work for the Chinese government to create that digital yuan, it will benefit them and both the Chinese government as well, and so that they can trade in the digital currency. But this article goes to show that we are shifting away from the US dollar and going to different currencies, and it's taking place and it's in action and it's not rumors anymore. Now let's have a look at the price action for today for XRP. We are currently trading at 0.6312. We are up by 0.87% on the 1-day chart. For the 24-hour volume, we are up by 0.11%, and we are trading at $1.5 billion in the volume. So for the earlier hours of the morning, we were trading at 62 cents, and you can see over here that we did actually come up to 0.6314, not too far off from where we are right now. So we are in that 63-cent level zone. In the past 7 days, we are up by 1.75%. So remember, we did have that massive spike up to 64 cents. Right now, we're currently sitting at 63 cents. I definitely want to see XRP hold at a 63-cent level. If it can just hold and not come back down to 61 or 62 cents, then at least we've got some sort of support there, right? And if it can go to 65 cents before the end of the year, which is roughly 3 days now, then that would be even better as well. For Stellar XLM coin, we are currently trading at 0.1297. We are up by 1.28% on the 1-day chart. If you notice here, the volume is up by 16.94%, and we are trading at $109.9 million. So in the earlier hours of the morning for XLM coin, we were trading in that mid-range of 0.1264. We did take a bit of a dip to 0.1242, but now we are so close to that 13-cent level, and I think if we can just close that, it would be good. And on the 7-day chart, we are up by 6%. So despite taking that dip, as you can see from here, at that 13-cent level all the way to 0.1241, we are now coming back a bit after that pullback that we had. So let's see if we can mirror this price point. Guys, if you want daily XRP and XLM coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.